Hello there, fellow Tarnished. Tonight I felt inspired to share some of my experiences with Elden Ring and how I feel about its replayability. First of all, I'd like to say Elden Ring is an amazing game with lore as deep as Mariana's Trench. There are tons of different builds to play with and a New Game Plus system which we always expect with FromSoft games. However, all of that being said, I must admit that I did bump into a slight personal problem. You see, despite the fact that there are many builds to try in Elden Ring, I realized that each playthrough felt a bit more repetitive than the last. Even whilst trying new builds, I had already charted the vast majority of the lands between with only a few things left unchecked. And despite trying to play the game with different playstyles, I couldn't help but feel like I just wanted to blow past most places just to beat the game. I didn't need to do much of the side exploring because I had accumulated most of the things I wanted for my builds, and items remain the same even in New Game Plus, and so too does the locations of said items. Although getting duplicates for your favorite weapons for dual wielding was definitely worth a second playthrough for me. I was feeling somewhat bored with the game due to the fact I wasn't seeing anything new apart from my build. I realized that no playthrough will ever be as awe-inspiring as the first playthrough, and I'm so much stronger on New Game Plus that it's rare to bump into anything all that challenging, nor was there a reason for me to seek a challenge because, as I said, I already generally had the items I wanted. There was no desire to seek a hard fight because there is nothing to reward me on the other side of it. And so I realized that despite Elden Ring being one of the most fun games I ever played, that I didn't feel much reason to continue playing over and over again via New Game Plus. And so it seems the best way to play through the game again was by starting a totally fresh character rather than playing New Game Plus. But even still, I couldn't help but feel like I was just doing the same things over and over. Sure, it was definitely fun trying to beat the game in a different order from my initial playthrough, such as going to Caelid right away instead of much later on, or perhaps trying to unlock different endings. But even still, I was met with this emotion in the background that I was bored with the predictability in the world, but I also recognize that not everyone will feel the same way as I do, and that's fine. I think this game deserves all the praise it gets, and I hope people will play it for years and years to come. However, for those of you who do relate to what I'm speaking, this video is going to be for you. This video is about the solution to this little problem I had. For you see, I have discovered something amazing. Something that changed the game for me forever. Something that rekindled my burning desire to play Elden Ring. Something indeed that reinvigorated my incessant need to explore every nook and cranny of the lands between. Something far superior to New Game Plus in its normal state or just playing the game with a fresh character. Something that I know will keep me playing Elden Ring for a long time, over and over and over again. That something is a simple to install and simple to use mod called the Item and Enemy Randomizer. So let's talk about it. Allow me to share my experience with all of you in an attempt to inspire others to keep enjoying this game in all its bloody glory. My name is XSPlayer, and this is why the Randomizer is better than New Game Plus. So, first things first, let me explain in brief what exactly this mod does. Apart from the many customizable options it includes, the main thing to focus on here is that the mod does exactly what its title implies. It completely randomizes every enemy, every boss, and every single item in Elden Ring. This includes anything you find laying around on the ground, any boss rewards, chests, dungeon rewards, literally everything. Every spell merchant and every item merchant will have totally randomized things for you to look at and purchase. Even key items are found in the most unexpected places. I found a glintstone key in the hands of a merchant being sold for, I believe, 2,000 rune. Even remembrances and great runes are found as random loot within the game. Instead of obtaining remembrances normally by defeating main bosses, you might find them in a chest or under a golden tree. Even most of the NPCs themselves are wearing totally random gear, which is another nice touch to keep the game feeling fresh. The gear that your starters have are also totally randomized, and there are customizable options to tweak this as well. You can even turn Elden Ring into a roguelite by turning off all stat requirements on weapons and spells, and thus will allow you to use whatever you pick up. You might find an insanely powerful item in a random chest. You might beat an extremely hard boss and end up with nothing other than soap. When I went to Godric the Grafted's location, I was met instead by a boss fight with the clergyman, and the boss fight prior to that where you first meet Morgott, I ended up fighting Renala instead. And the best thing about this is when you start a New Game Plus playthrough, you can re-roll the randomizer to make the game totally unpredictable all over again. You will never have a predictable playthrough ever again. Personally, the way I like to start a fresh playthrough is like this. Instead of picking a class with a build already in mind, I just choose the Wretch and then build my stats based on the first good weapons and spells I obtain. So if I start a playthrough and come across powerful sorceries and a good staff, then I will likely begin stat building toward increasing the usefulness of those items. This is where Elden Ring begins to feel more like Elden Roguelite. But hey, you can play the game however you see fit, and with this mod, you can keep Elden Ring fresh forever and ever. You literally cannot predict what you will run into next. You can't predict what you will find next. I found an ancient dragon walking around in the middle of a field not far from the starting location. I had to fight the magical red wolf as the tutorial boss. These examples are actually infinite, but I'll allow the gameplay footage to tantalize you instead. This mod is extremely thorough, and the best part is it's been very fine-tuned over the course of time. I have yet to be soft-locked. Important key items are randomized, yes, but it's designed in such a way that you will more than likely find what you need for progression. Just be sure to check those merchants when you come by them, and be thorough in your exploration of the lands between. If you're bored with the predictability and always knowing what's next around the corner, but you don't want to put Elden Ring on the shelf yet, then this mod is absolutely for you. So be sure to give it a try, and be sure to endorse the mod author as well. It's a freely given mod, and it's everything we could hope for and more. Do be warned, though, that the randomizer can create situations that sometimes feel seemingly impossible to get past. You'll be surrounded by a random assortment of enemies, and you might wonder if there's any way to get through them. But this is part of what gives the game its life back, that feeling of unlikely odds stacked against you so you can figure out how to overcome the obstacle at hand, even if it means walking away and coming back to it when you're stronger. The randomizer will keep you on your toes at all times, and you're going to want to find every piece of loot you can possibly get your hands on. It's unbelievably exciting. You just never know when you're going to pick up the next overpowered game-changing item. But yeah, so there you go guys. I do hope this video was helpful and inspiring for some of you fans out there. FromSoft really blessed us with a great game, and if you want to get the most out of it, I think the item in Enemy Randomizer is the perfect touch to an already amazing game. However, that all being said, I do not recommend you use this mod immediately. You should definitely do a few normal playthroughs first, because the game stands very strong on its own. This mod is for those of you who are looking for reinvigoration after getting everything you could from the game. I think that's all I have to say though. Thanks for dropping in. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, leaving a like or possibly a sub would be extremely lovely and will not go unappreciated. The link to the mod is in the description for anyone interested. I wish everyone the very best. May love and joy dominate your lives. Again, this is XS Player. Bye for now.